16 wickets fall on another tight day. Nick Gubbins was Hampshire's top scorer on day one with 54, in an innings that never really got going for his side. He'd helped them put on 226 all out before Nottinghamshire, the division leaders, had run into a bit of early trouble. Hamid out cheaply, Slater and Duckett at the crease with the score 29 for 1. And it got worse for the visitors. Duckett caught off Barker, strangled down the leg side to the very first ball of the day. Barker had another before the over was done. Clark out, caught by Wheel. He was having quite the morning. Mullaney his third of the day, out LBW for 2. And then Tom Moore sealed the scintillating start for Barker, his 5th wicket of the innings after fewer than 8 overs bowled. He'd taken every one so far. Slater and Patterson-White had to mount a bit of a recovery. The form team in the top division on the ropes for the first time in this phase of the competition, and they responded well. The 6th wicket partnership worth 50 runs off 78 balls. They took Notts to 100, the Hampshire total still quite some distance away. But it was reachable if Slater could keep playing like this, up to 50 before the break. A lovely shot for 2 took him to the mark off 85 balls. They were up to 107 for 5 at lunch, the rescue job underway, but they still had some way to go. Slater, though, couldn't build on his 50, out caught behind off Barker, who was tearing through Notts now. He dealt with Everson too, his contribution just 1, and a new career best for Keith Barker, who now had 7. Patterson-White flicked him for 4 to bring up his 50 off 88 balls, but there was more needed if Notts were to claw their way back into the game. It was 50 and out though for Patterson-White, bowled by Wheel, a massive blow for the visitors. And Hutton followed him too, taken in the deep off Fuller, well caught by Organ. Patterson made sure Notts would at least put 150 on the board, but he could do little else. Out for 6, taken by Gubbins in the covers off Wheel, the visitors all out for 155. Keith Barker had caused carnage in the Nottinghamshire order to pick up his new career best of 7 for 46. The bulk of the visitors' runs had come from Slater and Patterson-White, each with 50. Hutton was some distance behind them with 16. Every other batter stranded in single figures. Hampshire looked like they'd finally got Notts just where they wanted them, and started in decent form with the bat. But the peace was soon shattered. Holland out caught by sub-fielder Harrison off Patterson. Alsop followed 2 balls later, caught at mid-wicket for a duck. Fletcher got in on the act, Weatherly out, surprised by the bounce, caught behind for 7, and Gubbins 2 would go. Patterson with 3, the Hampshire number 4, out LBW for 2. Vince and Dawson shut up shop before the break, the lead into triple figures, but some work still to do at 33 for 4. They didn't look put off when they returned to the middle. Time for the captain and his partner to start to build their innings, and they moved past 50, the lead creeping up with every stroke. It was slow going, but the pair played their way to a 50-run partnership in the dying light. Scoring not the priority just yet, plenty of time left for that. The captain was once again putting on a show, his innings full of eye-catching shots as they moved towards 100. The one that got him to 50 wasn't quite so pretty, but it was just as effective. He reached the mark off 88 balls. Dawson fell soon after, playing back to Patterson-White and out LBW for 29. Organ announced his arrival with characteristic panache. The spinner carted for 6. But his captain couldn't stick with him, out-bowled by Fletcher for 52. The door opened for Nottinghamshire. Barker would be typically defiant when he joined Organ at the crease. Notts, though, weren't done. Another for Patterson-White before the close. Hampshire 7 down for 133 at the end of the day. Crucially for the hosts, though, their lead is now up to 204, 49 more than Nottinghamshire mustered in their first innings. With 3 wickets in hand, that could well grow to a more intimidating total. But after years in the wilderness, Notts have an opportunity to qualify for the final. That will surely be motivation enough on day 3.